What's going on, guys? My name is Fake Thriller. Today I am once again joined by Snoov603, and this is another episode of Weapon Review Follow-Up. So today we're looking at our review of the Type 88 LMG. And I think the tagline for this could be Made in China LOL.
Right.
Because that seemed to be the common theme in the comments.
Or, Snoov, you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
That was
well,
the second most common theme.
a lot of people seem to agree that this gun was shit. And for those who haven't watched it, there's an annotation on the screen right now that'll take you back to that review. But, spoiler alert, we give it a very, very poor rating. And it's because we couldn't shoot anything with the gun. And, like, people wouldn't die. And we honestly felt that it totally sucked. But, there were some people in the comments that felt we didn't do the gun justice in the gameplay, and the way we were describing our experience with it was inaccurate to them. So, Snoov, if you want to take over and talk a little bit about your experience and your opinions on all of that.
Yes, and let's just revisit what you just said right there. My opinion. A lot of you guys... Well, a lot of you guys have actually been really good. I can't say the majority of you have been bad. But there were a couple of bad apples, and maybe that's not even fair to call them that. But a couple of you guys got butthurt over what I said, but it's just my opinion, dude. Like, I don't like the gun. And this is where it's important, and not... I mean, this is even a small percentage of the small percentage that got on my case about this Type 88.
And just to like... disclaimer here, we're literally not attacking anyone. Like, if you go look at the review, like, I don't have the review open and I don't know who commented on what. I just know the general consensus was that some people were clashing with our point of view.
Yeah, and I second that. Again, I'm not looking at this, I'm not singling anyone out, I'm just going with the general vibe that I got from a handful of people. And from even a handful of that handful, you know, people were saying that, like, you gotta learn how to play with it. Or you just don't know what you're talking about. You didn't give it enough of a chance. Dude, this is not my first rodeo. Like, I've been playing video games for a long time, and I am a first-person shooter gamer. Like, that is all I've ever played. I'm not saying this in an elitist manner whatsoever. I'm just saying, like, I've got a pretty good background. Like, I know how much time I need to put into a weapon to give it a fair chance and stuff, and I handle the weapon reviews like I do pretty much anything in life that I'm trying to evaluate. I go into it unbiased. I go into it completely clear of any opinion beforehand, and I give it the best shot possible. I want it to tell me what it can do. I don't go into it thinking, well, it's probably going to do this.
Right.
And the Type 88 did not do anything for me. This gun doesn't suit my playstyle. That is 100% the number one most important thing about what we do about these reviews is I judge them based on how do they work for me. The other thing we do cover at the end is what I think it would be best suited for. It might not be good in this role, but it could be good in this role. Or it's not good for any of these roles. Or it's so versatile you can use it in all of these roles. Type 88 does not suit my role. I am a run and gunner. Anyone that has watched any of my videos knows I am a run and gunner. I'm like a fucking squirrel on crack. I don't stop running, and I'm just darting all over the place. I like that play style. I'm a very, very aggressive run and gunner. Type 88 is not meant for people like me. And because of that, I gave it such a poor rating based on that thing. I didn't find it versatile whatsoever. It didn't fit into almost any role except for one specific thing. Lie down, throw in a bipod, and just sit still.
Well, and there's a thing that happens with the LMGs, and I mean, the Type 88 is no exception, where you lay on the trigger. You're dead on with your aim. Like, yeah, your cursor is jumping back and forth and up and down, but it's still staying on your target, and you're just not getting hit markers. It's like the first, like, 18 to 25 shots just don't happen. It's like they're invisible.
Yep.
And anyone who's used the LMGs for any period of time, especially in a panic situation, knows what I'm talking about. And that's what was happening with the Type 88. And at least for my experience, because I am a support player. I played support, I want to say, up to level something crazy, like 25 or something like that, without even touching medic or any of the other ones. And when I came, like, I didn't have the Type 88 because it was part of that Spec Act download kit or whatever. like from GameStop, and then when I went back to it, like I'm coming into it as a seasoned support player, and I couldn't get it to work, and I was pop firing. Like you go full auto and you miss all your shots, or you start pop firing and it didn't deal the damage needed to put the enemies down. So I think that's where we came up. I mean, that's where I came up with my rating, and Snoop just explained how he came up with his rating. Plus, it's made in China,
right?
So
it's got that going on against it.
But it could work. I mean, it could work for other people. You go into matches sometimes and you get that beast mode, like aim or something like that. So maybe it works for other people, but
right. And that's the important thing you guys got to remember is that, especially with first-person shooters, there are so many different styles that you can have and how you approach the way you play the game. And there could be a half dozen ways that you can make something like the Type 88 work for you. But there's also probably like 100 ways that you can play that it will not work for you.
Right.
So that's really important to take into consideration when we're judging this. I'm not saying that the gun... I did say it was absolute shit, but that was just me kind of being angry at the time because it was just so bad. Like, it was... And it still is. Out of everything I've used, and I have used almost every single gun in this game to this point, it is still by far the worst gun possible. But that's for the role I tried to make it fit in. That gun, and that's why it gets such a bad rating, it doesn't fit that role. You cannot force it to fit that role. Other guns, you can kind of work around to make it fit. The Type 88, there's no bend. It only breaks.
Didn't you give it a 0?
I did. There was, like I said, I mean, I would, and I still stand by it, I would rather go and play even fucking, like, Conquest on Caspian Border. I would rather run with, like, the 44 mag or the M1911, just that one pistol, over the Type 88. That's how much this gun does not suit my specific / particular playstyle. It is such a hindrance to my capabilities that anything would be better off in my hands than the Type 88.
Yeah, plus, I mean, the LMGs are going to play into that a lot, just because if you think about it, one of their most effective attachments are the bipod, and that doesn't work with a running gunner. Like, you don't see a guy running up flanking 2-3 enemies, then taking the time to plant down his bipod and then open up on them, you know? You don't get that kind of time in Battlefield stuff.
Right. There's only one exception to the LMGs thus far that has really suited my playstyle, but that is for another follow-up in the coming future.
Yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed hearing us banter on a little bit about the Type 88. You know, leave a comment down below what you think about it, if you play with it a little bit more or anything like that. But if you don't have anything else to add, I think we're going to wrap it up here and move on to the next one.
Oh, that's going to do it.
Alright guys, thanks for watching the video. We'll catch you next time. Hey guys, check us out on Twitter at twitter.com/fakethriller and twitter.com/snoof603.